this episode of Keep It Positive, Sweetie. Today we are talking about the entertainment industry and seasons of uncertainty. Right now we are in the middle of a strike, and it is affecting not just actors and writers and directors and producers, but it's also affecting our crew members and many families. I brought my hairstylist, Shornell, and my makeup artist, Manny. These two keep me calm on set. They work with me. I'm very, very particular about everything. We'll get into that a little later. But I thought it was important to get different perspectives on what we're dealing with as it pertains to the strike. And I met you, Manny, at Green Bar Studio when I was a costumer and a long time ago. And Shornell, we knew each other when I was costume designing and hadn't yet flipped over to the talent side.
Yeah.
But Coco was head of hair at that point in time, and she said that you were the one that I needed to work with.
Yes.
For Fatima's hair from there on. Yes. And
That was it.
she was right. I'm so happy. She's been stuck with me forever. So she's responsible for my hairstyles for the Soul Train Awards, Sisters and Fatima, and BET Awards this year.
Yeah.
The Grind Pretty cover shoot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chanel's responsible for all those hairstyles, and Manny is responsible for the beautiful beat that you're always like, oh my God, we love Fatima's makeup. That's him. I get a lot of my makeup tricks from Manny. And my hair tricks.
Me too.
And can we get into the makeup? You did so good.
Thank you. I was going back and forth. Like, should I get a makeup artist? Should I have Manny come in here an hour before?
I was sleep.
But no, I decided to go ahead and take on the challenge. And, you know, look at everything that Manny, that you taught me.
Taught you well.
Crystal, you taught me some things too. Because you are really good at applying makeup.
Well, thank
I
you.
always want you to do like tutorials and stuff like that. But I
Thank
mean,
you.
you're just, you know, perfect in a lot of different ways.
Thank you so
So
much.
many different categories, I tell you.
Oh, stop it.
The guy that gets
Keep
her.
going.
Keep going.
The guy that gets her. I mean, full package.
Oh,
For real.
love you.
So, in the soul too.
Thank
And that's
you.
where it's more, you know, the most important is when it exudes from within.
Absolutely.
Inner beauty.
And
Inner
I
beauty.
absolutely love that the most about you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I want to personally thank you both for dealing with me. I know that the way we shoot, the schedule, we're all exhausted. And I am an artist that is very particular about everything. Manny, you call me a backseat makeup artist.
That's the makeup artist, baby.
What are we doing, Manny?
I mean, it's just a very demanding schedule, and you just roll with the punches, and we're just, you know, making you happy.
No, y'all do a very good job with that. Do I get on your nerves when I'm like, can you?
No, not getting. I think I've been doing it for long enough that it's not. It doesn't get on my nerves. So it just helps me understand what you like.
What I like. I like
So
it.
yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. And with Miss Shornell, when it comes to my wigs, I'm very particular as well. I'm like,
I mean, extremely particular. Do you hear me? But I love that, you know, because I am a person that do like to interact with my talent and try to satisfy them in any way possible. So with them communicating with me what they like, what they want, what they see, that helps me as a hairstylist to, you know, advance my talent and my craft.
Yeah.
So I absolutely enjoy working with you because you make me a better
oh,
stylist.
thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you both. Because sometimes as talent, if there's something, I'm very particular about everything. If you don't have people that you can talk to and feel comfortable saying, hey, can we fix this or fix that? It can like be, you know what I'm saying? As a woman, I don't know how it is for men, but as women, we want to feel like completely ourselves and like what we see in the mirror.
Absolutely.
And what the camera reflects.
Yeah.
And if we can't tell the person, hey, I don't really like this, and some people take it the wrong way. They're like, I'm trying to tell you how to do your job. It's like, no, I like what I like, you know? So thank you both for letting me be myself on set.
Absolutely.
And I just love you guys. So I want to know, because I know there's so many people probably watching that would love to be a makeup artist on set and break into the industry, that would love to be a hairstylist and break into the industry. Manny, just give me some of your backstory, where you're from, your upbringing, what brought you to this point that made you say, hey, this is what I want to do?
Makeup is the
Yeah.
thing. Well, I never thought that film was going to be my goal. It wasn't a goal per se. I started working for MAC Cosmetics. I'm from Orlando, Florida, but nobody will hire me in Orlando because back then MAC was quite, it had a prestige that if you work for MAC, you can work anywhere. And they wouldn't hire me. I needed to have some, portfolio ready and stuff, and it wasn't something I had ready. So when I moved to Atlanta, it just happened in a whim for me to move to Atlanta. I came and applied here to all the counters, and the job kind of found me. That's a story for another time, but I thought I was just gonna do retail.
Yeah.
And at that time, there is an artist, his name is Gino Freeman. He's also in the industry as well. He was working at the Mac counter himself, and he was doing a lot of strip clubs. And to me, at that point, that was what I wanted to do. I was like, oh, I want to work with strippers.
Yeah.
And I never ended up working with strippers. But 2 years into the industry, I met Mona Scott Young.
Yes.
And she gave me my opening, she opened the door for me. And she did say, and I quote, to the people that hired me, she was, make sure he never goes back to a 9-to-5. And I never went back to a 9-to-5. And I did a lot of the seasons from Love and Hip Hop and some of her shows in New York as well. And yeah, my story just kind of went on from there. And then I went on to Tyler Perry Studios, which was my first film industry job, scripted.
Yeah.
And he was really opening as well, really nice,
Yes.
really kind. And
Loves you.
yeah, he was so kind, yeah. And my career took off from there. And now it's been almost, I think now 10 years, I think, yeah. From me wanting to do strippers to now working with actors and actresses. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Very unplanned.
Yes, I love that. And shout out Mona Scott. I love when people see
Shout out
something
to
in
Mona
you
Scott.
that say to the people that's working for her and that hired you, make sure he does not go back to a 9-to-5. To see that in you is just, it
She
speaks a
blessed
lot.
me, like,
Yeah.
really, really
Super
blessed. And
dope.
it was so like something that she did. I don't think she even remembers it, but it changed my career.
Yeah.
It made it into a career. That's
Yeah.
what it did,
I love that. I love that. Shornell, tell us about you. Where are you from? How did you get started? And what sparked? Was it always hair that you wanted to do?
I've always had a natural grasp for anything here. I can look at something and I can create it naturally. When I was like 10 years old, to work with my Barbies. Barbie! I used to do my Barbie hair, and then my mother started asking me, Shornell, you think you could do my hair? Or my aunt, so every event, everybody was coming to me. When I was younger, I did not say I'm going to be a hairstylist. I didn't imagine that being my career. It kind of just happened. I used to work at this bakery in New York when I was very young. And the New York life that I came from, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born in Guyana, South America, near Brazil.
Wow. Okay. I didn't
So
know that.
came here when I was 3 years old. So, where I was raised was Brooklyn, New York. And so the environment and everyone around me, we didn't see this.
Yeah.
It wasn't film and the film industry or anything like that. And it wasn't even here because people thought hair was not lucrative at that time. It was not a so-called amazing career to blurt out. Everybody wanted to say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer,
Yep.
and all those type of things. So when I did eventually tell my mother that I wanted to pursue or do hair, I had gotten fired or let go. Not necessarily fired, but let go from Amy's Bread. I remember them asking me what I'm going to do next. And I just said, I'm going to move to Atlanta.
Wow.
Just like that. Just got up, moved to Atlanta. I was a single mom. Came to Atlanta, and I said that I was going to do a little culinary thing. That never happened. So I called my friend, and I asked her, I was like, do you know any hair schools that I can go to? I went to the hair school off Candler Road.
Yeah.
The hair school off Candler Road, and got my license there, and then just pretty much continued doing what I was doing. End up opening up a salon.
Wow.
Very, very successful business. I worked nonstop from sun up to sundown. And I pretty much I would say, ultimately was burnt out that. So I don't have any desires to go back to the salon. Eventually started working with, I was referred to Mila from the group 702. She came here and was looking for a hairstylist when she moved here. And I did her hair. She invited me on a photo shoot with Derek Blanks.
Oh, wow.
Right? That was my first time ever doing anything in the industry. Like,
that's huge.
I was a hairstylist, and I never thought of this realm of things ever. I didn't have any mentors, anyone that I looked up to. I looked at a magazine or a television show, and I didn't say, oh, I would like to be a hairstylist. I was just a successful business owner, and I did really well in the salon. But once I had that experience, that opened up my eyes and my drive to more and work less.
Work smarter,
okay?
Not harder. I know that's right.
So I did her hair for that one photo shoot, couple hours, went home, got paid for the whole day.
Like,
and it was just like, ding, what am I doing in the salon? I need to get out the salon. So pretty much that's where I worked. I worked up into, that's where my passion and my drive to get into this industry started. I stayed in contact with Derek on Facebook because Instagram wasn't around then. And he put up a notice saying that he wanted to invite a hairstylist to work alongside with him on a magazine shoot. And if you want to do it, just go ahead and submit your information. Spoke to 1,000,001 of my clients, and they were like, go ahead and do it. I was like, but I don't have really nothing. I don't know. At that time, I didn't know what was editorial, what was this, and what was that. And I went to the, to the interview not knowing that I was actually going against like a whole lot of hairstylists around the world when I got there. So I ended up winning.
Okay.
And Derek just pretty much started working with me on most of his celebrity clients. And so I would get invited. He'll call me. His assistants, would invite me to these shoots. And then from there on, literally doors just started opening nonstop. And I've never had a manager.
Wow.
One woman show.
I know that's right.
Like God, literally, I can say he's my agent.
I know that's right. That's so good. Wow. So right now we are in the middle of a strike. Have either of you ever been on strike before or had to experience this?
I have not, but I have plenty of friends that have gone through. The last strike that we experienced was in 2008. But I believe it was a writer's strike, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it was what today is happening is basically, it's a historic moment for our industry just because it's two of the biggest.
The writers and it's crazy.
So it's, I've never been through one period, but let alone both of this, what's happening right now, it's completely different. Not something I've dealt with before.
Yeah, me neither. Absolutely. What about you, Shornell? Have you ever dealt with a strike?
I've never dealt with a strike before. And it's definitely a moment that's just, it's definitely a learning process.
Learning process. How are you both handling this, Manny? I know I've talked to my friends who are in the industry. We just saw where people are having to sell their homes. They've opened up food banks for people to come and like feed their families. It's like really starting to like hit because first it was the writers, the directors, they figured theirs out before they had to go on strike. And now the actors, the Screen Actors Guild is on strike. For me, whenever I have these type of moments, I kind of look at it like even Marcel described it as our own pandemic. I think you may have too.
Yeah.
Eva described it as that, and so did you, Manny. And just like when COVID and we were quarantined and had to sit still for a while, I used those moments to figure out how I can restructure things. I'm inspired to like figure out other avenues and streams of revenue. And also, it just gets my creative juices flowing. How can I come out better on the other side of this? Some people are dealing with depression. Some people are dealing with spurts of creativity. Some people are just trying to like figure it out, or some people just like, we're just gonna ride this thing out? Where are you guys in the middle of all this?
I thankfully I come from a very humble beginning. I am from Mexico, though I consider Orlando my home. That changed from coming from a third world country to like the United States at a very young age was already kind of shocking for me, and like how you have to change everything, you know.
Yeah.
With a single mother of 5 kids, you know, she could have easily left us with her father back home, and we had to learn. I learned so much from her, from my mom, and how to be very. I don't want to say frugal is the best word to use. So. Because of this industry, once it became a career, knowing how volatile work can be. Like, you know, one day you can be working for weeks, months, and then you're in a dry spell for however many months, you know. So luckily from my beginnings to now, I've learned to live within my means, you know. Never, you know, try to keep up with the Joneses or whatnot, you know.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know when my work is going to come.
So true.
So the only thing that it's affected me has been in not working as much as I'm used to. But like you said, and like we talked about before, this is like our own little lockdown going on right now. Not little lockdown, it's just a lockdown that we're going through right now. We have to just sit at home and then trying to either finesse something, you know, pivot into something new.
Yes.
That's where I'm finding myself right now. Like, what am I about to do? Because I don't want to keep relying on this industry for the future, you know, because it may happen again and again and again.
Exactly.
And I just want to be ready for it. Luckily, I have the financial down, so it's not affecting me in that way. Thanks God.
Thank
right
God,
now,
because that can be really stressful.
Yes, I've lived it with my mom, you know, and I've seen what it does to, you know. And now I'm like, I'm seeing people, friends of mine, colleagues, like they're starting to like have to borrow money or, you know, call the banks or, you know, sell their homes.
Yeah.
So it's scary, but I pray a lot now, you know, just to try to stay centered because this is just life happening to us. Anything can come our ways, but if you're centered, if you are faithful that something is going to happen good out of this, then, you know, we'll just move forward like we always do, right?
Yeah, that's it. You're right. That's what we do. Oh,
So
I love that.
it's affected me in many ways, but I'm trying to, because of the pandemic was a great training on what not to do or how to go all the way down.
Yes.
So that's, you know, the one thing I do like about this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to stress. I'm not going to go into a deep depressive hole like I did during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we can talk about that later too. But yeah, it's a pivoting time.
I love that.
Yeah.
Pivoting time.
Yeah.
I love that. What about you, Shornell? How has this strike impacted you or affected you?
Well, for me, a lot of ways, and what you mentioned, and Manny too also, it's just, it is a moment of understanding yourself too in the process. Of course, you know, being still and listening to God. I have my moments when I have to be quiet and be away from people to, you know, get my mind and my thoughts back together. In regards to how I'm going to move forward in life. Now, I make sure that I'm not entertaining anything in my head that will allow me to go into a negative way of thinking, because God has seasons for a reason.
Amen.
Okay? We have summer, fall, spring. All those seasons are there to literally show us naturally how life is supposed to be, you know? So I know this is a season for our industry.
Yes.
It is my first experience, but I'm trying to be glad in it.
Yeah.
So when I'm glad in it, I'm going to come out with whatever message or feeling or anything that it's supposed to teach me, coming out of it a better person.
I love that.
And then I'm reaching out to, you know, as many people as I can, to encourage us to stick by each other.
Yes.
You know, because the only way we're going to get through this, because this is, to me, the whole, way of humans and how things sometimes get a little bit uncomfortable with negotiations and people, sometimes being a little bit more greedier than some and those type of things. You just have to, just stay as healthy in your thought process as possible. Yeah. Oh, and then reaching out to people to let them know this is the time for us to really come together and work with each other. If you have a skill or something that you can help someone grow in this season, so when we get back, then we're able to be stronger as a community. This is supposed to try to tear us down.
It is.
But if we stick together and help each other financially, if you know someone that's not doing well and you are doing well, this is the time where you bless someone. It doesn't even have to be something, a long, speech or anything like that. Just with, I'm going to bless this person. And it could be with a skill. It could be with teaching them how to grow their business, giving them knowledge on any way that you can be a blessing. I feel like the way we're going to overcome this and come out stronger, and a situation like this not happening as easily happening again, is by us bonding with each other and helping each other as much as possible.
I love that. I love that. So you kind of answered my next question. You talked about seasons of stillness. We talked about honing on different things during these times. For me, I'm definitely honing on different passions. I know when COVID came, I was like, I'm going to come out of this with knowing a different language. I took the time, and then that lasted for like 2 weeks, and I was like, okay.
What was it?
Spanish.
You made Duolingo mad and sad.
I was on Duolingo, and they were like, I would get those alerts saying, we miss you. Come back and play.
Listen, Duolingo is a bully. If you don't do your lessons.
Yes, honey. I was on it, too.
I love it. I love it.
Communicating with her.
What?
In Spanish, right?
I should have.
No, it's funny, when I went to Mexico City, Mexico, I actually remembered a little more than I thought. Nice. I was able to say things, and my friend, she's fluent in Spanish, and she goes, yeah, that's right. I'm like, oh.
I love that.
Come on.
We all should be speaking Spanish anyway.
A little something. I love that. I had Tyler on here, and I had shared with him the first time he asked me, had I bought a house, or did I own my home? And I was like, no, I'm renting. And I think a lot of people don't understand when we work in this industry, like you touched on, we make money and we save it to live when we're not working. So it's hard to really save money, a nice amount, a substantial amount of money, when you literally, we work, and then when we're not working, we're living off of what we saved while we were working, and hoping that it lasts until we get the next job. When I was on the crew side, and I love that I'm an actor who's been on the other side. You know what I'm saying?
I said that last night.
Really?
I was speaking to my mom about this. Because there's a certain way in how Crystal operate with people. She's so passionate, but she's so precise. She's very particular, but she is, you can just tell that you came from this side.
Very each one.
Yes.
with the crew members.
Yes. Because I'll let, when I see a new person who hasn't really worked in our ecosystem, because Tyler Perry Studios is totally different than other studios and sets that we work on, and I'll let them know, hey, look, I'm telling you this because I've been in your position, and I'm not asking you to do anything that I haven't done, but I need you to focus on these things, and you're gonna be okay, and I know, going back to just how we live, have you guys been able to rise above the normal living paycheck to paycheck, or is it still a part? Because I know for me, when I was part of the crew, it was hard, and I know, just trying so they can kind of get a better understanding of what we really deal with in this industry.
So at the beginning, that was one of my biggest fears. I remember experiencing it while I was doing non-union stuff, non-scripted rather. I remember the first show I did, the reality show that I did, I remember when it ended, I was like, okay, I quit my job. What do I do now?
Right.
And it was that feeling of, that like, okay, the anxiousness and, it's like a rat race almost.
Yes.
Like, okay, I need to find the next job. And people that were more seasoned in the game were very chill, like, oh yeah, I already got this 2-3 jobs lined up. And I was like, how? Like,
how do I do that?
What do I do? You know, so it was really choking of a moment. And I remember then telling myself, like, I don't want to live like this. And if this is going to be my career, which I already didn't even think it was a path for me. But once I was thrown into it, I was like, how can I, what do I do? Do I go back to what I know, having a job that pays me every week? Luckily, I stuck by it. And, I was doing a lot of freelancing work. Once you learn that work is going to come, it doesn't matter when you want it to come, it's going to come. We're not meant to just always work, you know? So I started dealing more with, like, go to the gym, fix my house, do things, around that, because when the job will come when I was still not seasoned enough, I'll be like, oh my God, why did I stress for all of this for no reason? I could have been, learning a new language, learning how to play an instrument, something fulfilling for me, So I'm no longer in that rat race of paycheck to paycheck, thankfully.
Thank God,
But I mean, we did go through a pandemic, and then that left us for so long, with no help, no nothing. And then now we're going through this. It's like, all right, we can only take so much, So I'm thankfully good financially, but it's you have to learn that bad moments don't last forever. Like you said, it's a season, and so that helps you in getting out of that paycheck to paycheck mentality,
I love that. I love that. I've talked about me trying to create multiple streams. Has this been a time where you guys like, what else can I do to bring more money in?
Baby, when I'm telling you, OnlyFans has been knocking at my door. I'm like, you know what? I'm kidding. Not really. I mean, it has. No, but I'm like, what can I do to make other? Listen, it's real. I know a lot of people are like, I don't have the best feet, but I'm like, I can start with feet.
I just said that. I hate my feet. I said, I know somebody out there like these bunions. I said it.
Listen, we got to break into a new, maybe they'll like the back of my knee. Somebody will have that kind of kink.
Listen. You never know.
So, so I don't know. I'm just, thinking of ways to make somebody, definitely not OnlyFans. I'm joking. But I'm definitely thinking like, how can I make there's so, you can look anywhere in your house. Let me share this real quick. I just finished a show, and there was roaches because the person was the character was a hoarder. So they brought roaches onto set, right?
Wait,
now,
what?
Yes. Now, mind you, they had wranglers for the roaches and people from the Humane Society for them as well. So when of course, I'm looking at them like, bros, roaches, but
that's a job.
If you're, yes.
A roach wrangler.
Who in the hell thought, like, you know what, I'm gonna put these roaches to work, And then not only was the roaches working, now they're actor roaches, but also the wrangler is getting a check.
Yes.
The Humane Society, people is making sure the roaches are being humanely treated. That's a check. And I was like, everywhere you look, in our industry, it's a job. Like when people tell me, what are you doing? Are you an actor? There's, of course, you think of the top jobs. But in the industry, there's so much you can do.
So many jobs.
Same thing, just even if you're not in the industry, you look around your house, from the deadbolts in your, doors, like anything. You can make money anyway. So
true.
Now more than ever, again, going through the second, pause of making money.
Yes.
I'm like, how can I make some money?
You can be a roach wrangler.
Okay.
Baby, gather them roaches.
Gather them
roaches. Okay. Stop clowning people with roaches.
That took me out.
Okay.
I wonder how much they got paid a day.
Okay. That's day rate.
That's a good day rate to be a roach. Is there anything that you've started like tapping into to make more money?
Well, funny enough, right before the strike hit, I started having the desires to do real estate.
Really?
Yeah, so I wanted to start investing in property and do certain things like that. Now, I'm very fresh, very new to this. but that's what I wanted to start. I still have the desire to do that, but I of course have to scale back just right now until we get back in. But yeah, I'm gonna reach out to people while we have this downtime and connect as much as possible. And then pretty much anything that I'm doing outside of this, I need my money to work for me.
Hello.
I'm not
That's the
trying
trick.
to work for my
What he
money
said.
no more. I want my money to work for me. I've put enough labor in my body, traveling, all those type of things, and I still enjoy. I have a passion for this, so I want to continue to be a hairstylist, but I need my money to work for me.
I know that's right. I like that. What did they say on Players Club? Make the money, don't let the money make you.
Okay.
Is that what it was? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Chanel, you are a mother. So as a mom, how has this strike impacted you in that area?
Well, it's given me the opportunity to teach my 2 kids, beautiful girls that I absolutely love and adore so much. Teach them how to preserve, teach them how to get through difficult times, because they're going to have moments when they have, they have to cut back on leisure things, things that, they don't have to do, but scale back, you know? And that's another thing about, this world showcase so much of I can do this, I can have fun and not have pullbacks. My daughter, she's on social media, so this gives me the opportunity to actually really show her what real life is.
Yes. Ooh, that's good. Manny, you said that during COVID you dealt with depression, and you've pretty much got that under control in this situation, but mental health is something that's very important. How have you during this time been able to really just kind of keep that depression down where it hasn't crept in?
Come on, Crystal Winfrey.
Okay.
The pandemic was, I like to always, my friends would also attest to this, like I like to find a silver lining to things.
Yeah.
My mother taught me this. She always looks at the brighter side of things, and I love that about her. I love that she's my north star in life. And I went really into a dark hole during the pandemic. I think, they told us it was going to be 2 weeks.
Yep.
And then after 2 weeks, went into 3, 4, 5 a month. And, it went from us being at home, learning from Marie Kondo on Netflix how to, fold stuff and get rid of stuff, you know. And we started organizing our closets, and eventually we ran out of things to do at home. And then we started picking it into our own trauma, scabs.
Yeah.
And that really affected me because not only did depression show up, also Miss Anxiety showed up. And when those 2 bitches hold hands, they get a hold of you and do a dance on you. And I was not myself. Like, I literally lost myself really badly. I went back home to be near my family because things got really dark. When it made me understand that, okay, this is a mental issue because my mind is telling me things that never in my life, I would have thought of, And it got really scary. I did a lot of therapy, still going through therapy. That helps a lot. I always recommend people to do therapy. Talk to someone that it actually is. It's good to talk to your friends. It's really good to have your confidence, but a professional really knows how to guide you through those moments. That helped me a lot. Being near my family, people that really love me and know me from, since I was a child, really, really helped me. That was like a training moment for moments like this. So now I'm not like picking at a scab. Like I see you at the gym often, I make sure that if one thing I'm gonna do for myself, even in the days, in these past weeks that I don't wanna get up and do nothing, I just wanna stay at home. I'm like, no, don't let that anxiety and depression kick in again. Go to the gym, do something, just so that, the happy hormones come into your body. So I'm navigating it a little better. I'm being kinder to myself. In my practice, we call it chanting, but praying is the best way I can say it. I pray a lot. It's keeping me healthy here, So depression is a journey.
It is.
It's something that it's hard to explain because everybody experiences that differently. So some days you're up here and then some days you're down, and life is the same way.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's always going up and down. So, yeah, I think the pandemic, again, there's no silver lining to it because a lot of people suffered through it. But it was a training moment for today, what we're dealing in our industry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good. I'm glad you have that under control. I'm happy that you are in therapy and being kind to yourself. And I do see you taking the time to just give that Manny that self-care he needs.
Thank you.
So I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. In seasons like this where people can often become hopeless, how do you remain hopeful?
God. Period. And it depends if I'm having a really emotional day or I'm struggling emotionally. Even if I have to pray or say something good to myself every second of the moment, I do it.
Yeah.
I don't say like I'm gonna wake up, pray in the morning, and that's gonna be it for the rest of the day. As much as I need to cast down the thoughts that I'm not supposed to be thinking, and encourage myself and pray to God. That's what helps me.
You got that. Love that. What about you, Manny?
In the free time that I've had, I've donated my time to shelters, and it helps you realize that things could always be worse.
Yes.
You know, and the most beautiful thing about those experiences when you donate your time is that though you think they're going through the worst, like you imagine yourself in their situation, and you're like, oh my God, I would hate it. That was me. You know, like what would I do if that was my situation? They're the happiest, the most thankful, the most lovely people you'll ever meet, and it helps you remember that your life is not that bad. You can be. There's people in the hospital wishing they had an extra day. There's people that are dealing through, with death, wishing they had, another day, with their family member they love. So that keeps me hopeful to okay, you know what? This is just momentarily. Again, we're not meant to just always be working. Work on yourself, make yourself happy, make others around you happy. We work so much in this industry. We're at work more than we're at home. And spend it with your family, go be with your kids, with your, nephews, nieces, sisters.
Love that.
So that's keeping me hopeful. That I know work is going to come back again eventually. Hopefully when this corporate greed ends, we can get back to it. But till then, I'm like, just be happy, make yourself enjoy this free time. We have to live.
We do. That actually answered my next question with how would you offer someone advice who may be struggling in this season? So you really just answered that. What about you? What advice would you give someone?
I would definitely say enjoy what you enjoy doing. It doesn't matter what it is. Just do it. I enjoy cooking. I cook, have a glass of wine at 9 o'clock in the morning if I want to.
No, that's right.
I just do me. I try to comfort myself in what makes me happy as much as possible. I enjoy days where I'm walking my daughter to school and I'm making her lunch. When she gets home, the house is smelling a certain way, instilling, taking care of me mentally. Like, we don't have, when we are working, we do work very long, strenuous hours. So enjoying this moment and relaxing and not, the struggle with this is that once I started, nonstop, busy all the time. So when it does slow down mentally, you're kind of like, what's going on? Because your body is used to a certain pace in life. But when you learn how to slow down and just really enjoy the moment, and that's what you're supposed to live for. You're supposed to be living in the moment for the moment. And then when you're blessed with more, you just go ahead and God just like, okay, let me bless her with some more. And you just go with the flow.
I love that. I love that. Guys, thank you so much for coming to sit on the couch with me.
Thank you.
We are of course. No, you guys, I feel like we definitely touch on some things that are going to help a lot of people, people that we know, people that we may not know. We're going to get to my favorite part of the show, which is called Positive Outcomes, where they write into us and ask us for advice. Are you guys ready to give some good advice?
Okay.
All right. This one says, Dear Crystal, last year was my season of rejection. I received a lot of no's and some goals did not come to fruition. During that time, I took a step back and actually felt the emotions that came with it and actively understood the lessons this season was trying to teach me. Patience. Because I don't have any and I'm always rushing to accomplish certain goals at a certain time. Last Christmas, I received a lot of opportunities. I was given an opportunity that would change my life if I kept focused and worked hard at it. I had to eventually resign from my job, which paid well. I thought if I applied for a month's leave of absence, I could go see if the opportunity would pay off, and if not, I would still have my job if things go south. But my request for leave of absence was denied, and I was asked with urgency to make a decision whether I'm staying with the company or resigning. I felt sad, unappreciated for my work, and replaceable by my employer based on their response to my request. This basically forced me to make a decision in less than a day. I decided to resign, but I had a bittersweet emotion to the whole situation. I'm afraid of taking a risk like this, but I am more afraid of not betting on myself and chasing my dreams. How do I navigate my feelings of doubt and regret with the decision that I made and push forward with the opportunity that I was presented with? Wow. I didn't get her name, but first of all, thank you for writing in. I wasn't presented with an opportunity when I decided to leave Capitol Hill. It was more so God tugging at me saying, hey, you know there's something bigger and something better for you. And I left my job. I didn't do it like you didn't ask for a paid leave of absence, but I did take a leap of faith, and it is the best decision I ever made, but it was so hard. I had probably the toughest year of my life when I first moved to Atlanta. So to you, I would say, if this is something that you really believe in, always bet on yourself, and God will make a way. What do you guys think?
I feel the same exact way.
I believe that I listen to the universe, your angels, your ancestors, however you want to call it, whatever you want to tap into. Nothing happens everything happens for a reason. If she's having those feelings, because I've had that feeling too when I had to leave my job that was paying my check every week to go into this field. If it's happening, it's God really telling you, jump.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do it. And even if you have that doubt, if it goes south, if it goes really, really bad for the first few months, maybe years, don't give up, because it was presented to you for a reason.
Yeah.
God already has a plan. It already has it all mapped out for you. Maybe he's taking you another way in the road, and that's why it goes bad, but you're going to get back in it again, I say jump and do it. It always, when you do something, when you live life without regret.
Yes.
I always say, I don't want to be 60, 70 and say I don't want to do, I wish I would have done this. I wish and I wish of.
Same.
Just do it. Do it, and then see what happens. The worst that can happen is, you get another job. But at least you tried it.
Yeah.
And then when you come back at it again, you have way more experience at it.
Exactly.
So just jump.
I love that. I love that. So we do something on the show called What I'm Going Through and What I'm Growing Through. And in this season, as pertains to the strike, I am going through making sure that I don't go into a state of depression, because I battle with anxiety. I can get low. I do have moments where I don't want to get out of bed, or I just feel like, I don't feel like it today, but I have to force myself to get up. I'm going through that, and I'm growing through understanding that there is a season for everything, and this too shall pass. What about you guys? What are you going through, and what are you growing through?
Well, I'm going through definitely a season of understanding who I need around me, who I enjoy around me, and not feeling bad that I have to let some things go, some people go, and not let them go, but just, you know, I just am going through a season of enjoying a space around me and that surrounds me that's full of light, that can allow the light that's in me to shine brighter.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. What about you, Manny?
I'm going through, so I've recently converted to Buddhism, and it's interesting because growing up Catholic, it's, you know, I still find myself saying like, oh, thank you God, or God this. I mean, I think God is in many things, you know, God, the universe, you know, it can be in any religion, God is presented in different forms. So I still speak to God every day, but I'm going through a change of, you know, tapping into different ways of, you know, getting in line with the universe, with God, everything to align myself. And I'm going through it because I am learning that I'm being more kind to everything around me. Like, you know, most importantly, being more kind to myself. You know, so it's a great season for me right now because I just can't wait to see what's going to happen when I get to my 40s, when I get to, if I get blessed to get to my 50s and my 60s, you know, that I'm, see how much I've grown through then, you know, like I've made it all the way here to my 30s. Now I just want to see what's coming for the rest of, you know, my life.
Good. So we do a thing called Keep It Blank, Sweetie, where the show's called Keep It Positive, Sweetie, but we fill in the blanks as it pertains to the episode or something that you can take away from the episode. And from this one, I will say keep it, patient, sweetie. Keep it patient. Yeah. What would you guys fill in the blank with?
Keep it hopeful, sweetie.
That's good.
Okay.
Give me some. That was good.
Keep it hopeful.
I would say, I don't know, just keep it ready. Get yourself prepared for what's next.
That's right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Keep It Positive, Sweetie. If you want to write into our Positive Outcomes listener letter, write into keepipositivesweetie@gmail.com, and that's sweetie with an IE. And then you can follow Keep It Positive Sweetie on all platforms. And you can follow me on all platforms at Love Crystal Renee, and that is LUV Crystal Renee. Guys, tell them where they can find you.
Shornell. I used to be here, Shornell. On Instagram only. SHORNELL. And I had to add another L because, dang, I just want my, right. But it's SHORNELLL.
There we go. Got it. And Manny, where they can
You
find
can
you?
find me at the Pink. No, I'm kidding. No.
Down in the valley where the girls get naked.
No, I'm actually I've taken a break from social media, so you can just find me. Find me when you find me, boo.
Well, are you gonna come back?
Eventually, but I'm
me.
changing all my social media. So Manny Davila, Davila. Hey.
Go ahead and tap in so when he come back, you can stay tapped in. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have been blessed. Have a great week, and in the meantime, you know what to do. Keep it positive, sweetie. Bye, guys.